Hello everybody and welcome back in to another Craftoria Let's Play here with Froggo. So in the last episode we set up our beginning entry level stuff for applied energistics. And then we set up this bad boy at the end there. So now we have the ME controllers, we have the 6 1K drives, that way we have more item types we're allowed to store right now. And of course we have the crafting terminal here, along with wireless. So we have our wireless crafting terminal as well. Everything is set up and ready to go. We also have a little pipeline going down to our original storage room, and that is hooked up with a storage bus with a high priority. That way, if there is something we're putting into storage and there is room down here for it, it will come here first before it goes up there, and the system can see everything that is inside of these drawers. We also added ourselves in a import bus with some speed ups so that when we're out mining, we can just come over here, drop our backpack down, and have everything sucked up into the system and organized for us as best as possible. We also added in a few animal things with animal pins. One of the mods is on the Craftoria pack. That way we can breed these animals inside of here. We can also murder them and get their supplies, or for the sheep even, we can shear them here and get their wool. Now let's go up to the mechanism floor where we're going to be working today. We have a few things on our list today. One of the priorities is we're going to get mechanism, some of these hooked up to the AE system. That way we can empty out some of the more useful items, like for instance steel is going to be automatically sucked up, as well as this control circuit is going to get automatically sucked up, and so is this atomic alloy is also going to get automatically sucked up. After we do that, we also need to get installed our refined obsidian and glowstone. These are really, really important for later on in the game, because these refined obsidian ingots and the glowstone ingots are needed in Craftoria, at least for some of the other advanced machines that we're going to be using later. After we set up that, we will be moving over here to get our tier 3, one for 3 ore refinement set up, since this one is not really cutting it right now. We're pretty slow, it's pretty lackluster, and it's not really that beneficial to be running just yet. We've also needed to come over here and get all of our intercell done. We have a basic intercell, which gives us a second channel. This is important later on because I will use one channel dedicated as a power input. So all power generation is going to go to one specific channel, and then into the induction matrix, which is the battery for mechanism. But before we can get started with this section over here for the ore, we do need to finish this side over here. So let's go ahead and grab some of these chests and adapt them back into AE. So to do this, we're going to be using the logistical transporters for now. At some point, we will probably go ahead and grab some importers and storage buses and stuff and use those. But for now, we don't have those supplies, but we do have these supplies in abundance. So this is our steel. It's also our miscellaneous smelter. If I need anything smelted, like maybe some glass or something, I'll throw it in here for now. So, or some stone, I'll throw some cobblestone in there, get some stone smelted up. It is very handy to have that. Back here is going to be our atomic alloy. So we can go ahead and suck that out of the system as well, because if that hits the end there, there's no reason for it to be sitting there. Same thing with this. The only ones that we're not going to do is these, because my current system, since we don't have automation, requires these to be full of items so that it moves from one to the next to the next to the next. I'll just have to manually pull these out for now. Not a big issue. And we will also be using as much of this cable as we can because it is a lot cheaper and easier than making more ME cables. And then of course that will go into that box there. So now we have that settled. We're going to leave that open for now because we will be using it, and probably that one too. I'm not going to cover this one up right now. What we're going to do instead, we're going to use ourselves this frame trapdoor from Frame Blocks. Love them. So I can just get in there and look at that later on. And I believe we also have a hammer, so we can actually change this to be like that. That way, it's hidden. It fits in, but it's not exactly fully hidden. Now we need to grab ourselves the import bus, and we're going to bring this cable over here. This should be sufficient for now. What it's going to do is those 3 items are going to get pulled into this chest, and the chest is going to get emptied back over to our AE storage. All right, so now we have that done. Next up is we need to get those machines set up for the refined Obsidian and refined Glowstone. This is a pain in the butt setup. It's not my favorite setup in this game, especially since I have a tendency to mess it up. So there's a regular barrel, and that's going to be just fine for us and our needs for now. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull this up. We're going to deactivate that, and we will pull the ingots that are going to come down out of the system here. Right here, we also need some more barrels. So there is 1 barrel for the osmium to come in, and we're going to need ourselves an osmium compressor, this guy right here. So there's our osmium compressor, and as you see here, we have our glowstone, and we need to get enriched osmium in there, but not in that fashion. And for now, what we're going to do, we're going to come here. This one just needs a regular hopper. We'll turn that off for now. And we will say glowstone, exclusively glowstone. There's no other reason to have anything else inside of this system. So that is the redstone, and we'll turn it on. So now the redstone will filter down into here. Now we need osmium, so that's going to take some enriched osmium from the side here. And I do not believe that we have the machine for that. And that is going to be chemical oxidizer? Yeah, that's going to be a chemical oxidizer. We do not have a machine for that. I didn't think so. Dynamic tank. But this is also why I really wanted to get the AE2 system set up so that I can just craft these things wherever I want to, whenever I need to. All right, so there's that. Now we need some more gates here. So we have the osmium compressor. We also have some chemical oxidizer, and we're going to turn that all off. Power input from the front. We're going to put chemicals output to the left. There we go. It is a chemical, so we need to make sure we fix that. There is the chemical coming in. So we have the osmium, we have the glowstone dust, and we have ourselves the refined obsidian going, refined glowstone going over there. The other one that comes in is from this side. These will come in from this side as well. So here we have outputs going to the left, output going to the bottom, and output going to the back, because this machine also requires it. So we have that. Do we have any upgrades? We do. Sadly, this one doesn't have a tier upgrade, so that kind of sucks. Okay. And for now, we'll also do this so we can start getting these refined obsidian ingots through there as well while we set up the rest of this machine. So here, of course, it takes the enriched osmium. So we do need to have ourselves the enricher. I'm trying to think about if I want the enricher to come from the side here at the bottom. I think I do. So we'll have enrichment come from here. So it will go output to the top. It'll output that to the top. We can close off that for now. And we can close off that. And then up here, helps if we do the right blocks, I guess. We don't have any more of these. What's these? Weathered copper deep slate stripes. Let's look for some more of these deep slate. And then we'll grab our chisel, which I apparently don't have it anymore. We need ourselves this guy. And I guess we could have just pressed this button here to chisel all blocks in our inventory, but you know, that would have made sense. All right, so from here, we need to get into this machine right here. We need to get the osmium dust. So if we look at this, enriched osmium is made with osmium dust. And then osmium dust is, of course, made either with ore or with a crusher. We are going to set up a twofold system because we want the ability to use either method for this. It's a little bit redundant, but I find that it's better for all of us, especially for me, if we do it like this instead of trying to rely on that one method. This way we have more wiggle room if we have some raw osmium on us or if we have some osmium bars. Either way, we can make this system work. This is a regular barrel. We have a spruce barrel right there in our hand, actually. We can get rid of that. So there we go, we have that. We can toss in that. We're going to need both of these because this is going to be a little bit of a convoluted system we're making here. We're going to turn them both off. And we're going to make sure that these older hoppers here don't have anything in them. Perfect. All right. So now we need ourselves the crusher. And of course, we're going to disable that. We're going to put input and output from the bottom and power from the front. And then I'll take you through the process for this right now. So because we have ourselves the need for this enriched osmium and the osmium dust specifically, we have two options here. The enrichment chamber can take the raw ores and produce the osmium dust, or we can crush osmium ingots. So I like having both options. That way, if I have osmium bars but no ores, then I can still get the processing done. This is important because later on we will be using a very large ore refinement setup going on. And at any time, we are likely to run out of any item in here pretty easily and fast. So this is going to make it so we can get everything done. So this is the crusher. And what it's going to take is it's going to take our osmium bars. So we'll put some osmium bars in here. Not that much. So I'll put some osmium bars across the top there. We're going to lock those in. And I will also set the display for that one. So the osmium bars are going to get pushed out to the top here. So we're going to push to the top. And we will allow. And that's this first one, the second one right here. So it's going to go into here. And it should output to the bottom automatically. And it does. So now we have the osmium dust coming in for us. We're going to have 2 rows of osmium dust right here just to keep a buffer supply going on. But for now, we'll just have those. And we'll also set the display for that as well. So now we have osmium dust coming in, and of course we need to push the osmium dust to the left now. And that's going to be this guy right here. Allow, push to the left, turn that on. Yeah. Input from the left. There you go. I mean, from the right. So now we have osmium dust coming in. It's going to make the enriched osmium. That should come into here. It's not. Output to the top. Input from the bottom. Now it is. And then it'll come over here to this side and give us that. Perfection. Now that we have this one set up, let's also do the enrichment chamber for the bottom for these ores. Let's also double check that we're doing it right. Osmium, if I can spell right. We just want to make sure that we are indeed processing this right. So we have that. Now we need the enrichment. We are. Okay. We don't have an enrichment chamber, so let's make another enricher. And we'll need some more steel. And we'll have that. And of course, we need to come through here, clear all of the configs, and set that up properly. And it's going to be input and output from the top. And this is where it gets spicy because we actually need to upgrade this to gold because we do need that additional slot for one more advanced hopper upgrade. There's probably a lot better ways to do this system, but I like the system. I know the system. I've been using the same exact setup for a while with very little variation. One of the variations, of course, is this new one where I'm actually doing both of these setups. And you'll see that we actually chose the wrong one, didn't we? And you'll see that more often as we go along because I have the tendency to under prepare for these type of things, and then later on I figure out that there's a backup method for this madness as well. All right, so we have that one, and now we need to do this bottom one. So that's that, and we have one raw osmium, I believe. Yep, we have one raw osmium, and we'll put that right here. And we'll also display that. So these are the 3 items that are going to be inside of the system. And for this, we are going to be pushing and pulling the bottom. And we are going to allow raw osmium to go down to the bottom. Now, this is the part that kind of sucks because we can't actually fully test this out until later because we don't have the 3 osmium it requires. But now this setup is done. And if we look inside of our applied and logistics, after we get back our configurator that I accidentally threw away in there. There we go. And then of course we can upgrade what machines we can to the basic. So yeah, now if we look inside of here and we look for refined, we have our refined obsidian and refined ingots. All right. So we have it hooked up to AE now. We have this all being processed. We need one more board so that we can block off this other side here real fast. Now we can block off that as well. And it's in this inventory. Oh, that makes sense. All right. So there we go. Now we have that. Next up is the tier 3 ore processing. Oh, this is the part that I enjoy the most because the ore processing, like a lot of people don't understand it. They're like, it's not that great. Silk Touch does better. But once you're fully set up, and we will change this after we do this setup right now, we will be changing the setup again. In probably within the next 5 or 6 episodes, Maybe a little bit more, maybe like within the next 10 episodes for sure, 100%. We will have the full ore refinement setup going in here. But for now, this is all we need. Okay, so now we are ready for our next stage of this. So from right here, we are going to need to put a crusher. I believe we do have one in here. Yes, we do. So here we have a crusher. Now the crusher is going to take the output from our purifying chamber over here. And we do have a purifying, right? Yeah, right there. So that will take that guy in from there, put it into here, and go through the system. So for the purifier, we need to bring in oxygen, and the ores will go into there. So like these ores right here. I don't know what the tungsten's doing. So the ores will go into these right here. So we need a chest here or a barrel for that. And of course we will use our spruce barrel with a hopper upgrade, hopefully. Ah, we still have one. Yes. I don't have to make it nice. And for that we will do, it's going to push to the left. And we'll just put the rest of those in there. And there's no... There. Okay. And then from here, we will go input left, output right. Good to go, right? There we go. Okay. So now we have all of the machines we need to actually process the ores. They're just hanging off to the side here. But first we need to get the electrolytic separator down so we can get the oxygen to this machine here. We have a few options for this. I'm not going to cheese anything right now. We're going to do it the proper setup way, I guess. But the proper way is to get some water down right here. We'll throw down the pump, and like so. And now if we rotate this out, we can go ahead and get some water to the bottom of this machine here. So let's go fluids config, input from the bottom. So the water is coming in from this guy into here, and we're producing hydrogen and oxygen. We don't have anything to do yet for the hydrogen, but we do need the oxygen out. So we're going to look at this. We need to do power from the front, like so. Okay. And now we need to get the oxygen out. So we're going to go to chemicals, top, output 2. This is on number 2. And we will also do chemicals, output 1 to the left. We're not going to need it just yet. We're going to do dumping excess for these. And we need ourselves a pressurized tube, but we don't have any. Basic pressurized. Like so. And then, of course, we can let it come in from the bottom. Input from the bottom. And now it's going to start processing this. So what this is going to do, this is going to turn that one ore, that one iron ore, into 2 of these guys. Output left. Input. Those 2 are going to come into here. And we are going to get power issues because the frog didn't set the proper stuff. So there, it went out from there. It went into here. So 1 for 1 at this point. And there we go. We have some more coming out. So that is tier 3 refinement done and set up. I'm super happy about that because now I can go mining and actually start getting some decent returns on my mining sessions, which is going to be pretty darn nice here coming up in the near future. Thank you guys for watching. In the next episode, I plan on getting the next stage of this ore refinement done. So we are currently right here at the tier 3. We are going to do tier 4 Ore Refinement because we really need this to be done. And we're also going to start playing with the Quantum Entanglement Porter and using that for some things. We also have a lot of plans coming up. We are playing quite a bit in the next coming weeks, so I look forward to it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.